Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Jim and Melissa Buettner.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, good. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome. Well, let's get this show started. So, tell us a little bit about you guys. Like, what do you guys do?
We are a husband and wife team for Keller Williams, and we are the Buettner Group.
I like it. I like the name. Went right in there. Awesome. So when you guys were younger, is this what you guys had planned for your future, or what'd you guys have planned?
I had planned on being a teacher my whole life, so went to school for that, and then ended up here, and thank God I did. I'm so happy to be a realtor.
Did you end up?
I had planned on owning my own business, but it wasn't necessarily in real estate. And my family had a history in commercial real estate when I was a kid, and my dad owned 5 businesses growing up. So,
Oh,
but
wow,
I didn't have a vision for real estate until after I got in the job market and realizing I wanted to be on my own.
That's awesome. So how did you guys get into real estate?
Well, I got into real estate because my realtor, I was buying a house, and she's like, "You should be a realtor." And at that time I was a stay-at-home mom, and I worked part-time as a dental assistant. And I'm like, and I started thinking about it. She kept bugging me about it. And so I went for it, and it was amazing. By my first year, I ended up being like one of the top agents in the whole office. So
Oh, wow.
It was awesome.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys start at the same time in real estate, or did you guys kind of do it at separate times and then join together?
Well, so I was a single mom and working at Keller Williams Plymouth, and I started 16 years ago. And Jim ended up showing up at our office one day because he came from another company in Plymouth, and we became fast friends. And next thing you know, here we are.
I started in 2002 and then moved to Keller Williams in 2007. And that's where Melissa and I met.
Yeah.
I like it. Tell us more about your team. Is it just you two?
It's us. And then also Jim's sister has been a realtor with us for, probably 12 years now.
Wow.
Right? And she kind of works, she works hand in hand with us, sometimes like as a buyer's agent. She does some listings, but she also owns a salon. So it works out really well for her that we can be a team together. But it's just the 3 of us.
And our young 10-year-old has to.
And our 10-year-old that's in there.
has to tag along sometimes.
Yeah. Does your 10-year-old want to be a realtor when they grow up?
You know what? So I had 4 girls when we met. And none of the girls have ever wanted to be a realtor. They're like, no way. It's too much work. And this little guy, though, I think he might. So, yeah, I think he might, honestly.
That would be cool to see you guys all as a family doing it. So that would be.
There's a lot of parents with their kids that do it. So I would love that.
Yeah. We talked to on our last episode. She was works with her mom too. So
it would be awesome.
Yeah, I think typically how that one goes is the parents are like, "I want you to join our team," and the kid, as a teenager at the time, pushes away, and then eventually they come back.
Come back.
Yeah,
I know. Like my oldest daughter, we let her work with us for a little bit when she was like 18, and she's just tough. And we're like, you know what? This isn't going to work out. She became she went to Fair State, became a police officer. So there you go. Like she was so tough. Like you got to be kind.
It's not meant for everybody, but yeah. That's funny.
Different
When you guys,
personalities.
yeah, for sure. When you guys first started, did you both get advice that has stuck with you throughout the years?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. What is yours?
Well, when I first started, my broker at the time said that I would get my first deal from my sphere of influence or something I was involved with. Yeah. And I'm into triathlon. I used to be into a little bit more in the past. And my first deal came from triathlon, and it always seems that we're involved with many different things, and that's where the leads come from, because we're all referral based now. We've been at it for a few years, and it's all coming from our activities, things that we do out in the community.
And I think my biggest thing that came to mind when you said that is like, the one thing is you can have anything you want, but it's how bad you want it. Mm-hmm. And I just remember like my broker saying, you know what, fake it till you make it. Like I first started, I was so nervous, and it was like, all right, I've got this. And I just, I had a mindset that I can do this. And I've been at this for forever. And people actually thought I had been at it forever. So it actually worked out, you know?
That's perfect.
When you first started, did you tell somebody that you were new, or did you, I mean, fake it till you make it? So that's like not a thing you mentioned,
no,
right?
I just act like I had just been the number one agent
Yeah.
forever, you know?
Take us to your first transactions for both of you. How did those go? Were they smooth?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the exact first one was for me, but you remember yours because you talk about it. I know it was my family, but.
Yeah, my first one was a guy I met through triathlon, and we had done Ironman Wisconsin together in 2002. And then 6 months later, we closed on a house with him. And just about a month and a half ago, and I don't know if I remember telling you this or not, but I went to one of our listings to pull the sign out of the yard, and he was walking down the street, and I really had lost contact. I knew he was, because I had got out of triathlon. I knew he still lived in the Plymouth area, and I saw him walking down the street. So I pulled over, and his name's Roman. And I said, "Hey, Roman, how you doing?" And we caught up, just kind of picked up where we were. And he told me a few things that, you know, in his life, he's still with the same company. And then I actually came clean with him and told him that he was my first transaction. And I've been doing it since 2002, so almost 20 years later, but he didn't know that. And but I finally came clean about 20 years later.
What was his reaction when you told him? Did he have any idea?
He just laughed. He says, "Oh yeah, it was a great experience."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's nice that you guys get to keep touch with your clients, especially like you, Jim, your first one. That's huge to keep in touch with that one person still, even if it's years later and you see him on the street.
We try. It's funny. We become friends with a lot of our clients. We sell about 50 houses a year, and we have a lot of people that we end up staying in touch with. Like last night, we had some clients over for dinner that we sold a house to, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. You know, it's like, we just become friends. It's crazy.
Yep. And we're the family realtor for some families, some friends from high school, and I sold their parents' house, and the brothers and the sisters.
It snowballs, you know?
Yeah.
And then we have two Christies in our life that have each bought or sold 10 homes. So that's the rest, you know, one client.
Best clients ever.
They're both named Christy.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what kind of goals do you guys got coming up in the next year? Do you want to build a team, or do you guys want to just kind of just go all out on the sales? What do you guys got planned?
We've tried the team thing before. And I think because we are, with our lifestyle and stuff, we don't want to be bosses. And I know a lot of people have aspiration to have this huge team. And, you know, we sell between 10 and 12 million a year. And I'm fine with that. I want to grow that a lot. I mean, I'd like to grow that some more, but I think not by growing a big team, you know, but maybe getting some extra help, like admin help, or, you know, we have someone transaction to close and stuff, but maybe hiring an admin so that way it frees up more of our time for marketing and things like that, you know, and just the stupid stuff that we don't like, and paperwork.
And our goals are to be 15, 20 million. And we're really personality based. We're just living off our personality, and then just get more structured. You know, really hit our database now that we have like 500 people or more in our database, and just keep that relationship going, but more of a systematic contact to those people that would help our personality-based business.
If we really tried, we probably could be 20 million easy, but we don't, you know, we need to have some systems in place because, we just got back from a retreat, the Glover U retreat, for Keller Williams. And it was amazing. And it really inspired us. So we just got back this past week, and we're like, man, we got to focus.
It's game on.
And even in the realtor world, you know, we met a lot of realtors, and we said to ourselves, like, you know, a lot of people know us, but we don't really know them that well. You know, we get along with everybody, and everybody goes, because we did some Facebook posts before we got there, because we took like a mindset break on Sunday, and everybody was coming up to me and like saying, "Oh, we saw what you did in Fishtown, and oh, you guys looks like you had a good time on the lake." And okay, yeah, great.
That's awesome.
He's not a big Facebooker.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. So let's say you guys had to start all over today and only had $1,000. How would you spend your first $1,000?
I
would have a better car.
No, for marketing, for real estate. So what I would do is, back in the day, his car was pretty bad. So I think what I would do is spend it on cards, stationery, because I feel like starting in the business, it's all about the touches and just sending handwritten notes. Cause I think that's the biggest thing is staying in touch. Handwritten notes. If I had $1,000, I wouldn't spend it on Zillow or buying leads. I'd spend it on the people that I knew, small gifts, cards, that kind of thing.
I like it.
Awesome. What is the worst property you both have been to, or maybe the worst showing you've been to?
Oh, God, there's been so many mold houses, but our cheapest house was like $7,000 that we sold.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was in Dearborn Heights, right? $7,000. And that was back. So.
And the commission was still $1,000. So it's not bad.
Like,
that's not bad at all.
All the deals.
How'd you pull that off?
Were like $1,000 because they were all bank homes. It was like $1,000. So you had to sell tons,
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
But,
you're like, gotta sell 100 this year.
Yeah.
My worst experience showing a house is I like 2004, I stepped in 2 foot of water in a basement from a bank home.
Oh,
and
no.
I didn't realize that the basement was flooded.
In his suit.
And I stepped in 2 foot of water. Then I had to show the other 10 houses the rest of the day in my coaching shorts and flip flops. Because I had them in my car. So I just changed and just kept rolling with it.
You're like, we're going, guys. We're
Good
going.
thing you had those in your car there. Otherwise, it would have been the squishy socks all day in the pants.
Right.
It would have been rough.
There was, I do have one story though that's hilarious. Is one of the clients, they moved into the home a little ahead of time, and the owner decides they're going to just come into the house while she's, they're waiting to close, but she was kind of renting it beforehand. Walked in on her completely naked. She was just getting out of the shower, and she called me freaking out. I mean, we got to handle so many things, but that was one that I wasn't ready for.
Like what?
That's not the first time, surprisingly, that we've heard this story. Something similar.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
No, as agents, you guys have to deal with a lot of different situations. You have to be prepared for anything and everything unexpected.
Yep. It's like we're attorneys, we're therapists, we're like, divorce attorneys or everything.
So as you guys are a husband and wife team, so what are your roles in the team for both of you? Do you guys, is there something like one of you focuses on and the other one takes the other task, or how does that kind of work for you guys?
For the most part, I love our listings and I really like to focus on the listing part of it. And he works with a lot of the buyers for showings, but we both show houses. Like tonight I'll be showing houses and, and he does most of the paperwork.
And we try to, when we have a listing appointment, we try to go there together. And then from there, Melissa takes on the listings, negotiates the contract. And then once we're in the contract, then I kind of take the back end, follow it along.
You get all the fun stuff, all the paperwork.
I know.
But it has happened though, where we have a buyer consultation, we meet, we may, if we have time, spend time together, we'll go show houses a couple times. And then I take over and start showing all the houses. And then people will have said to me, well, what happened to Melissa? What is she doing? And
I still love you.
So we've tried not to do that. Like I explained, well, she's at the office running the show and I'm on the road.
Yeah. Especially with the busy schedule. I mean, you guys have kids too. So it's just, you got to do what's best for your family as well at the same time.
It gets crazy sometimes. There's days that I'm on the road for 12 hours. Then I come home and the next day he gets on the road and I get to stay home, And
it works great because it has happened that I've showed houses and they want to make an offer, but we're still going to look at the last 3. And so she writes the offer. Our buyers are signing the contract on their phones. And then it has happened, but by the time I get home, she's already got it negotiated and
sold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It happens.
That's the best part. Yeah.
That's how it's done.
I love negotiating.
That's how it's done. You're like, I got this. Like you just drive home. I got it sold.
Yep. Teamwork. I love that.
Yeah. That works out good. Nice job, guys.
Have you guys had any major changes in the last year, kind of with the shutdown and everything with your business and how you structure everything?
We changed brokerages.
We did. We met at Keller Williams, Plymouth, and we had moved because when we were pregnant with our son, we were trying to buy a house, and we moved from Plymouth to Brighton to his hometown. So I'm from here, he's from there, and we just found that it was really hard because the kids were little, elementary school and stuff, and driving back and forth. So we ended up leaving here. It was heartbreaking. and we left, and our heart was always with Keller Williams, to be honest. These people are our family. And we left. And then 9 years later, last year, right at the pandemic, March 17th, right when we were being shut down, we signed back on with them because they opened a house right next to our house in Brighton.
Huh.
Yeah, second office. So now we have 2 offices. We have Brighton and Plymouth, and we're back with our family. We love them. It's just, it's our heart. Keller Williams is our heart.
And then we couldn't see them for a while.
Yeah, then we couldn't see anybody. We sign on. So we changed brokerages.
Shut down.
It was just like, oh my gosh, what have we done?
We moved furniture out of the other office. It sat in our garage for a month and a half because we couldn't move it into the new office.
It was stressful. It was stressful. We're such people. I know a lot of people were like killing it in 2020 when we were shut down. And we did sell some houses like that people have never even went into. But for me, it was kind of depressing because we're people persons. Like we have to be with people. And it was really hard for us. So our production went down a little bit. It went down a few $1 million because we just, we did call our clients and stayed in touch during the shutdown part, but it was just hard, We like to be out there having fun.
Yeah, especially, in real estate, it's very relationship based on everything you guys do. So it's hard when you don't have that personal connection when you're forced to stay separate.
Yeah, it's the best part. We did call and check up on a lot of our clients though, and that was really nice. We enjoyed that and dropped off some gifts and things, because we finally were just like, we got to get out of this house and do something without leaving gifts on the porch or, it was fun.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome.
Do you guys have any business books that you guys could recommend, or even like a podcast? I know you guys drive a lot, or audiobooks or anything that you guys could recommend to maybe a new agent starting out?
I would recommend, I'm reading the One Thing by Gary Keller, and then The Millionaire Real Estate Agent is a great book, especially for someone that's just starting, just to get an idea, because there's different models and systems, and just, get your head around how many contacts you have to make to get how many deals. Those 2 that I'd recommend.
And the podcasting that I really have been enjoying, some of the classes that Glover U has had. And during, when we first came over, they had a YouTube, and they have this YouTube video that is their buyer consultation. So Jeff Glover's buyer consultation. And there's like 18 points of how to get your offer accepted. And, with all the multiple offers, honestly, I had one lender say, how are you guys getting these through like this? Like, this is crazy. And I'm like, we just go through all the points and just try to add as many things as we can to get our offer accepted. But the Glover U podcast, I am enjoying that.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. And I've hooked some people up with it, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. It's just, if you just learn one new thing and try it out, it can make a big difference.
Yeah. Especially that example right there you just had. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Big difference.
So how can people get a hold of you guys?
They can call me on my cell, and that's 734-968-7995, or look us up on Facebook, and it's the Buettner Group or Melissa Buettner. And we're always happy to help new agents or anyone that has questions.
Awesome. I like it. Is there anything else you want to share with everyone before we go?
Anything?
I'm good. That's good.
Yeah. So just the more people that we help, the better we are, right?
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you for this so much.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
Taylor, I don't even think these are on.
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.